seniors, families, and everyone depending on SNAP benefits. Today's update is absolutely massive. Former President Donald Trump has just made an announcement that could change the financial situation of millions of Americans who are struggling right now. We're talking about a one-time $300 SNAP EBT card payment that it says will be mailed directly to low-income families across the country. Yes, you heard that right, not just a small boost, not just a temporary grocery credit, but a full $300 benefit card that could land in the hands of those who need it the most. Now, when a headline like this drops, the first thing people ask is this real? Who qualifies? When will the cards actually be mailed? And most importantly, will everyone on food stamps get this extra $300? Don't worry, in this video I'm going to break it all down step by step so you don't miss a single detail. Let's start with the announcement itself. According to Trump, this new plan is part of what he's calling a relief card program designed specifically for low-income families, seniors, and individuals already receiving SNAP or EBT benefits. The idea is simple. While inflation continues to hit grocery store prices hard, and as families struggle to put food on the table, this one-time $300 payment is supposed to act like a reset, giving households a cushion to stock up on essentials without worrying about their EBT balance running out too quickly. But here's the shocking part. Trump says the government will mail out physical EBT cards preloaded with $300. That means you won't have to apply for it separately. You won't have to jump through online hoops, and you won't need to visit a local SNAP office if you're already on SNAP, or if you fall into the low-income bracket that qualifies. The card will supposedly just show up in your mailbox, ready to use at grocery stores. Now, let's pause for a second and think about what this means in real life. Imagine opening your mailbox one afternoon, seeing an official envelope, and inside is a brand new EBT card loaded with $3,300 for a family of four struggling with rent, gas, and rising food costs. This is not just money, this is peace of mind. It's being able to buy fresh produce instead of skipping meals. It's knowing your kids won't go hungry at the end of the month. It's one of the biggest promises made directly to SNAP households in years. But of course, with every announcement like this, there are questions. Who exactly qualifies? Trump's statement makes it clear that this card is targeted at low-income households already part of the SNAP program, SSI beneficiaries, and potentially those with annual incomes below the poverty threshold. That means if you're already receiving regular SNAP EBT payments, whether it's the average $191 for a single person or $535 for couples, you could be automatically eligible for this one-time boost. Families with children are also expected to be prioritized, since food insecurity rates are highest among households with kids. Now let's talk about the timeline. This is where things always get tricky. Announcements can sound great, but when will people actually see this money? According to the rollout plan Trump outlined, the cards would begin mailing as early as September 2025, with distribution happening in waves. That means not everyone will get it on the same day. Just like regular EBT benefits, the cards will likely be sent out based on your state of residence, your case number, or your social security number. And here's another important detail. You do not have to cancel or replace your current EBT card. This new $300 card will be separate. So if you're already receiving monthly benefits, those will continue as usual on your normal deposit date. The $300 card is an extra, a one-time addition designed to work alongside your existing benefits. Think about that. If you're a single parent, currently receiving around $535 per month, you'll continue to get that, but on top of it, you could soon have an additional $300 card arriving by mail. That's like getting over 6 months' worth of benefits up front. Now, let me share a quick story, because sometimes these announcements sound like numbers on paper, but the reality is very personal. I spoke with a mother of two in Ohio. Let's call her Linda. Linda works part-time at a grocery store, and she's been relying on SNAP benefits to help cover her family's meals. She told me that by the third week of every month, her EBT balance is so low she has to carefully ration meals. When she heard about this new $300 card, she literally cried. That amount of money, she said, would let me fill my fridge without fear. I could buy healthier food for my kids, not just cheap stuff that keeps them full. That's the kind of impact this could have. And Linda's story is not unique. Millions of families across the country are living paycheck to paycheck, EBT reload to EBT reload, constantly stressed about whether the card will last through the month. But here's where I need to give you a warning. Anytime a big number like $300 free on a card gets announced, scammers will jump in immediately. Already, fake websites are popping up asking people to apply for the Trump EBT card or to enter their social security number online to claim benefits. Please listen carefully. You do not need to apply for this card anywhere right now. The government has not opened applications, and Trump's plan specifically says cards will be mailed automatically to eligible households. So if you see a link that says apply here for your Trump $300 SNAP card, it's fake. Do not share your personal details because scammers are targeting desperate families. Let's circle back to the politics of this. Why $300? Why now? Trump has always positioned himself as someone who wants to reduce government bureaucracy, while also making bold financial promises to win support. With elections heating up and inflation still being a major voter concern, this $300 card is a headline grabber. It's meant to show that he's taking action where others have stalled. Remember, Congress has been debating food assistance expansions for months, but very little has actually made it into law. By announcing a direct card program, Trump is trying to cut through the noise and say, look, I'll put food on your table directly. Of course, critics are already weighing in. Some say the logistics of mailing out millions of preloaded cards are unrealistic. Others argue that $300 is a flashy number, but without a long-term plan to stabilize food prices, it's just a temporary bandage. And then there are those who ask, where will the money come from? Will it add to the national debt? Will states need to manage distribution? These are all valid questions, and over the next few weeks, we'll likely see heated debates on Capitol Hill. But for the families who need help today, the only question that matters is, will this card really arrive in my mailbox? And if the answer is yes, then it could be one of the most significant financial relief efforts targeted at low-income families in recent history. As the days rolled on, the announcement of this one-time $330 SNAP EBT card started making its way into neighborhoods, town halls, and even church gatherings. Families who had been scraping by with just enough to cover rent and utilities now felt a new wave of relief washing over them. It wasn't just about the money. It was about what the money symbolized: dignity, security, and a rare chance to take a deep breath without wondering where the next meal would come from. In Ohio, a grandmother named Sharon shared her story at a community center meeting. She had been raising her two grandkids on her fixed retirement income and small monthly SNAP benefits. The announcement that she would soon receive an EBT card in the mail with $330 loaded onto it felt like a miracle. Sharon explained that for her family, it meant more than just groceries. It meant she could finally buy her grandkids the fresh produce they always asked for, but she had to put back because of cost. It meant she could cook them a hearty dinner without worrying if she'd have enough left for the week. The room grew quiet as Sharon finished speaking, and then the crowd erupted into applause. Her story was theirs, too. Meanwhile, across the country in Texas, a single father named Marco was standing in line at his local grocery store when he overheard other shoppers buzzing about the EBT card announcement. One man mentioned that his card would be mailed automatically, no application required, as long as his family was already enrolled in SNAP or met the income guidelines. That reassurance spread like wildfire for Marco, who was juggling the jobs just to keep his kids clothed and fed. This $330 wasn't just a card, it was hope delivered right to his doorstep. But of course, with excitement also came confusion. Families wanted to know exactly when these cards would arrive. Would it be in August, September, or spread out over several weeks? Officials clarified that cards would be mailed in waves, starting with the lowest income households, then expanding to all qualifying families nationwide. That meant people needed to keep an eye on their mailboxes, but also be patient. The $330 wasn't delayed, but it was being distributed carefully to ensure no family was left behind. At the same time, fraud concerns began to rise. With so much buzz about free money, scammers saw an opportunity. Reports surfaced of text messages and robocalls claiming families needed to verify their information in order to receive the $330 card. But officials made it crystal clear: no phone call, no email, and no text would ever ask for your social security number or bank account details. The cards would arrive automatically, with no action required. families were urged to be cautious, to trust only official SNAP updates, and to report any suspicious messages to their local SNAP office. This reminder was vital because, as history had shown, when government assistance programs rolled out big benefits, scammers were often just one step behind. But this time, families were better prepared, and awareness campaigns spread quickly on local radio stations, community boards, and even church newsletters. As the weeks went by, news footage began to show the very first families receiving their $330 EBT cards in the mail. A mother in Florida opened her mailbox and wept with joy as she held the card in her hands. Cameras captured her hugging her two children, saying this card would mean full backpacks, warm dinners, and peace of mind as the school year began. Another story out of California showed a low-income veteran who, after years of struggling with high grocery costs, said this was the first time in years it felt like the government remembered him. The nationwide rollout of these cards started to feel like a movement, not just a policy. Families across the U.S. were posting on social media, sharing photos of their cards, and talking about what they planned to buy. Hashtags like ItHelp and SNAP Relief began trending, creating a sense of unity among millions who often felt invisible. By mid-September, most qualifying households had received their $330 cards. For many, it was perfectly timed with the start of the school year. When expenses tend to pile up, parents could send their kids to school with fuller lunches, and seniors could stretch their grocery budget without sacrificing medications. The impact was immediate, visible, and deeply personal. As communities reflected on the rollout, one theme kept surfacing: gratitude. People were thankful not just for the card itself, but for the feeling that someone was listening, that someone cared. In a year of economic uncertainty, this program gave families a rare moment of stability, even if temporary. And now, as the country looked ahead, the big question was, could this one-time EBT boost set the stage for more permanent reforms? Would policymakers see the success and momentum and consider expanding SNAP in the future? Families could only wait and see, but for now, they held on tightly to this victory, however temporary it might be. And if you found this story helpful and want to stay updated on every new SNAP, EBT, and food stamp announcement, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. Give this video a like and share it with someone who could benefit from this information, because at the end of the day, knowledge is power, and together, we can make sure no family is left behind. Until next time, take care, stay informed, and remember, hope is on the way, one card at a time.